Pretend Cooking Show. My name is Dina Mitchell and this is my kitchen. Prego, who has the best pumpkin pie recipe? I tried 3 of the top, Libby's, Costco, and Julia Child's. Wait till the very end when I try all 3 and let you know what I think. Oh, and when I say Costco, I mean I have a copycat recipe and I made all 3 of them with my own from scratch pumpkin puree using the sugar pie pumpkin and my pasta friola crust. So all of these pies are super easy to make. You just put everything in one bowl and throw it in the oven, maybe the variance being the temperature and for how long. The Julia Child one takes an extra 5 minutes, just a couple extra easy steps for a marvelous, extravagant, souffle-like pumpkin pie, which is different than the regular heavy one. And after you've had a big meal, say at Thanksgiving, maybe you want something light. Oh, and besides this pumpkin pie having sugar and spice, it also has everything nice, little whiskey. So I'm gonna show you how to make the Julia Child recipe, and then I'm gonna give you the recipe for the Costco one because it's super easy. So let's get started on the Julia Child one. We're gonna take 2 eggs and separate them. I'm gonna put my egg whites here to the left, and I'm gonna put my yolks over here on the right. Whoops, almost messed that up. That was pure luck on my part. Okay, yolk on the right, egg white to the left. And these are really fresh eggs, and we have them at room temperature. Okay, and I am first going to throw everything into this bowl that I need, and I'm going to wait to mix it. So I have a half a cup each of light brown sugar and a half a cup of white sugar, which is about 100 grams each. I have all 3 of my spices, which I've got ground ginger, ground cloves, cinnamon, and then I ground up some fresh nutmeg. So I think it's a 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1.5 teaspoons of ginger, an 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg, and an 1/8 teaspoon of cloves. That would be the spice. And then we are going to put in 1/3 cup, which I don't have a measuring cup. Stay right there. Hi, I'm back. Back to pumpkin pie. So I need 1/3 cup of milk, which is about 80 grams or so. I'll go a little bit more. And I need a half a cup of heavy cream, which is 120 grams or millimeters. And this is one of the things that makes this unique. Besides, we're not using canned. We're using a lot of heavy cream, and here's something special. We are using molasses. Now, her original recipe, I modified this slightly, had a little bit more molasses in it. I cut it down to 1 tablespoon. And this gives us this unique flavor. It's also going to make it a little darker, just the same way as the brown sugar did. Oh, that doesn't go in there. This one does. Okay, and I need a teaspoon of salt. This is going to help balance. And pumpkin puree. Now I just made this pumpkin puree by roasting a sugar pie pumpkin at 400 degrees and then pureed it. So, oops, I'm gonna put this one here. So I have on my scale here, I need 425 grams of pumpkin. I'm zeroing out the weight here. And I'm going to grams. All right, so it's basically about 2 cups or 15 ounces of pumpkin puree if you wanted to use a can. Whatever. Showed you how to make it fresh. And you could even make it ahead of time and freeze it and just take it out a couple hours later. So 425 grams, almost there. Yep, cool. I think that is everything. This, that, eggs, salt. Oh, no, we didn't have everything. You have your choice of either rum or whiskey. I am going to put whiskey, and it's just about a tablespoon and a half is what she calls for. I'll go with that. Gentleman's Jack, so that makes this pie gentleman approved. I didn't do the rum. And by the way, here's a little kitchen tip. In my brown sugar, I always keep a couple marshmallows in there, and it prevents it from getting hard. Just a little trick I learned. Okay, so I have all of my ingredients in here. I have the nutmeg, I have the spices, I have the cream. I hope I didn't forget anything. I'm gonna set that aside because what I'm going to do first is with those 2 egg whites, I am going to whip these up to a foam. I'm gonna add a pinch of salt, and then I am going to add 1 tablespoon of sugar. So let's get started. This is the only complicated step, and it's not that complicated. Guys, this is part of what it's going to add. It's going to make it that souffle type texture. So, by the way, really important, preheat your oven to 425 degrees. I've already done that because once I combine these two, I've got to throw it in the oven right away. It's not going to wait. Okay, I'm just going to mix this up. I don't need to really get a lot of height, so he wants to make a mess. If I had a larger bowl, I wouldn't have to worry about it. All right. That's it. Don't need these guys anymore. Now, these egg whites, we're gonna slowly incorporate them by folding them in. So I'm gonna take about 1/3 right now, and I'm gonna chop it up a little bit to disperse it, just to make it a little bit easier to fold them in. And I am going to go from the bottom and turn up, go from the bottom, turn up. And you want to be patient with this because it's going to give it that amazing texture. And I haven't tried all 3 pies next to each other, and I can't wait to do that to see which one I like better. Libby's, the Costco, or the Julia Child. And I love that I am really comparing apples to apples or pumpkins to pumpkins because I'm used my pumpkin puree in every single one and my pasta frolla. And I didn't tell you, in this Julia Child pie that I made, I actually made it with my chocolate pasta frolla crust, just to make it that much more cool. Okay. So let's add some more egg whites. Incorporate those in. Again, I'm folding. I don't want to mix because I don't want to take the air out that I just put in. So don't just go for it. At the very end, you can kind of a little bit, but I want to keep all that height in and incorporate this together. Okay. And then I'm going to go for the last bit of egg white. I mean, the holidays just aren't the holidays without a pumpkin pie, right? And you've already eaten that big meal, so you only have that much room, and you're at somebody else's house, and they offer you pumpkin pie, and they say it's homemade, but it's made from a can, and they bought the crust. I don't know, it's really hard for me to waste calories on that. If you make it homemade, then I'm gonna try it. If you bought it at a store, supermarket or such, no thanks, not gonna do it. I'm all about homemade, and especially when it comes to the holidays, I think that's time when everyone pitches in and makes their special recipe so we all try it together. I don't want to buy it. And that's kind of why I wanted to do this test. I wanted to see once and for all which recipe I really liked best. And the only way I can do that was making them all head to head. Okay, so I'm going to give this a quick stir just to get the last bit in. And then I'm going to try it with this whiskey. I can't even try it. I mean, I can't even taste it. I'm gonna go a dash more. Everything nice, right? Cool. Hopefully that doesn't deflate it. All right. So I've got my crust, and I've used the pasta frolla because everyone loves this crust. And let me show you again on this one. This is the last one I made, and this is a chocolate crust, and I just substituted some of the flour. Did I make this gluten-free? I don't think so. Some of the flour for cocoa. All right, so I'm going to pour this in. So I've made this pie several times, and I have modified the recipe based off of my experience. Number one, you're gonna put the pie crust protector on immediately and leave it on through the entire time. Otherwise it will burn. You do not need to blind bake or pre-cook the crust. Any one of these, they all will cook the crust with no problem. And I'll show you when we try them all. Wow, still can't even really taste the alcohol. I definitely could have went more. All right, so my protector, I got this one off of Amazon. I've kind of fought with a few of them. Still looking for the very best one. This one was pretty inexpensive. I think it was like $8 for two. And it's a pie shield, so I am going to leave that on for the entire time. So 425 for 15 minutes. Turn the oven down to 375 and leave it in there for 30 to 40 minutes. Turn off the oven. Keep the door ajar slightly. Put like a handle or something in there and leave it in there for another 30 minutes, and it's gonna set. Your pie is gonna inflate, and then it's gonna drop a little. So let's throw it in there. I've got that on the middle rack. Okay, baby, do good. Yeah. Okay, this is the part I've been waiting for. And that is trying the 3 pumpkin pies, but you know what? I think I can't have pumpkin pie unless I have fresh whipped cream. And don't try to show me that Cool Whip. I'm so over Cool Whip. Been over Cool Whip since 19 something. I am gonna put a couple tablespoons of powdered sugar in here. And I am going to put about a cup or so. Okay, a little bit more of this whipping cream. I love this thing. Just whip up whipped cream anytime and make it all kinds of different flavors. Oh, I do like a little bit of vanilla in here, don't I? Yep. And do you guys have one of these? I think I got it for like $60 on Amazon. It's from Euro Kitchen. And twist it till I hear the air. Very cool. And I think I can take this off now. Can't I? Let's see if I did it right. I think so. I'll find out. All right. Can I do this one-handed and cut pies at the same time? No. I don't know if this is gonna work. All right, let's cut some pies. I'm so excited. So this is, this one's the Libby's. So I'm gonna cut the Libby's. And these are brought up to room temperature. And the Libby's I made with a gluten-free crust. My pasta frolla. And the crust is completely cooked. Here's the Libby's. And Costco. Let's go. And the Costco was just throw everything in and 325 degrees for like an hour. And pie protector, protecting crust on all of them the entire time. Did not blind bake, as I said. All right. And this Costco one actually has a lot of egg yolks in it, which makes it a little bit different. Okay. Let's see. Well, crust is cooked again. It's totally cooked. Let me make sure. Yep, totally brown. Okay. Made a mess there, and then Julia Child. This is the one that I told you that looks like a souffle, and I've got this chocolate crust on here. Ooh, definitely like a souffle. Wow, that one actually came out the cleanest. Totally clean. Okay, so let's take a look. Julia Child, Costco, and Libby's. Same ingredients. First of all, when I look at all three of them, Libby's is tiny, definitely tiny compared to Julia Child. And the Costco one, which has more eggs, is like double the size. So let me start with Libby's. Basic, not bad. I mean, I've had worse. Very pumpkin-y. Just okay though. I can definitely taste that evaporated milk. The can, I definitely can taste that, if that makes sense. Okay, Costco. And I used my gluten-free crust on that one. All right, so regular crust, the Costco copycat. Really good flavor. Good color. Not too overly pumpkin-y, still mild. Good. So far, I like that one. All right. Julia. Souffle-like. A lot of air in there, so this is going to feel lighter. I already know. And my chocolate crust. First of all, the chocolate crust with this, sticking with that. So good. Let me try this again. It's so light. It's so light. It has all the flavors. The molasses is not overwhelming at all. All the flavors seem to go. I guess I would like to have a little bit more cinnamon. Maybe it just needs some of this. Yep. That's all. I mean, that was pretty easy, right? Who needs Cool Whip? All right, guys. Thanks for watching my pretend cooking show. My name is Dina Mitchell. Here's a bite for you. Please join me next time. Please like and subscribe. Happy holidays.